Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight on the world's #1 streaming service. That's right, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Got some Sunday night action on tap. Icon Cup Series right here at the beautiful New Hampshire Motor Speedway here in Loudon. This is going to be a fun one here tonight, folks. If this thing runs anything like the Cup race did earlier, we can expect a wonderful race. But you're looking at some beautiful shots we took down trackside earlier. But in the booth here tonight, I'm going solo tonight. You know, I fired everybody. I was sick of hearing anybody else's voice tonight. It's all about me. Yours truly, the GOAT, Blake Hutchinson, bringing it solo here. We got Daryl Young Jr. in the chat after I fired him, so appreciate you popping in here, Daryl, but no, you can't have your job back yet. But nonetheless, folks, let's go down trackside, take a look at what's going down here in practice. Look, this is a live shot of the track right now, flying the drone around here. But again, appreciate you joining us here tonight. Icon Cup Series, sponsored by TZO Designs here. Great shots around New Hampshire, but looking at the board, Jake Roel, top of the board. He looks like he may be in the running here tonight. But the tough thing, though, for these drivers is Brian Smith is out there. Let's take a look at Brian Smith. Here he is. Check him out right now. Brian Smith currently in 5th in practice. One thing we've learned from Smith, though, his practice time doesn't really matter because sometimes he just screws around in practice. So we'll keep an eye on him. We got a couple minutes left of practice before we bunch him up and head on out for some qualifying action as he smokes the wall. So there you have it, folks. You are in for a good one tonight. Before we get started, be sure to click that like button for us. If you haven't done it, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Invite your friends and family. We got some time before we get started. We're going to go HMS TV side by side. But first, Larry McReynolds has a quick message. Go ahead, Larry. What do you got?
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
We are back here down trackside at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Qualifying action is kicking off right now. First one rolling out onto the track out of Clovis, New Mexico. It's Adam Reckenball in that number 19 machine. Let's hop on board with him, see what kind of lap time the 19 machine can do here at the Magic Mile of Dover Motor Speed, or not Dover, sorry. We're at New Hampshire. Always mix up the two for some reason. You know, two New England tracks, both a mile long. Pretty similar. Not really, though. But, hey, folks, take a look at your screen. You got the rules and regulations here tonight, and we appreciate everybody joining us. Take a look here as we correct some things. There we go. All right, so it's partly cloudy, track temp 112 degrees. It's a little warm down there as these drivers try to navigate this flat racing surface. You got 5 additional tire sets after the green flag. No fast repairs, 60% fuel. We're thinking that'll go about 55 laps or so, give or take. Fixed setup, of course. And in the booth, I fired everybody. It's Blake Hutchinson going solo here at the Magic Mile. Not sure what's really magic about this place. Kind of a dump, not going to lie, but we're looking at Adam Ball. He is on the top of the board for now, but rolling out on the track, John McNeil takes over the top spot. We got Robert Blauen out here in that number 84 Canadian Tire Machine out of Bedrock. Chris Mackey in the Monster Energy, a number 9 machine. Good-looking paint scheme per usual. We know he's one of Connor's favorite paint makers or whatever you want to call it, because Connor always seems to put him in the paint scheme of the night. Let's see if he does it again, though. So let's take this drone cam down for a quick flyby. We check out this number 9 machine of Chris Mackey from Ackworth, Georgia. Got the white monster on the car. Good looking there. Got the little bit of blue accent there as well. But Chris Mackey ripping it around here in that number 9 machine. What a shot here. Let's see what Mackey's got in store here tonight. I believe he had a good finish last week, but honestly, I wasn't here, so I don't really know. I've been gone the last couple Sundays here. You know, been out of town, had some stuff going on, but appreciate Jesse Becker and Daryl Young Jr. for stepping in last week and filling in. But I'm glad to be back. I want to watch these guys rip it around here in New Hampshire as Zach Lockett in Catawba, North Carolina, currently running in the 3rd position. We'll see if he can do a little bit better once we get things started. But Jacob Smith out on the track here as we take a look at that number 4 machine out of Northville, Michigan. We're going to hop on board Jacob Smith, and 10th place is all he's going to get here. Top of the board, John McNeil, but not for long as Jacob Malone crosses the line and takes over the top spot. But we got Jake Rowell out on the track. We know he was one of the fastest guys in practice, and he's going to cross the line in the 3rd position in that number 39 machine. But Connor in the chat let us in on some wisdom here, folks. Looks like the 77 machine serving a 3-race suspension due to some, I guess, on-track issues, but he's still going to be gone here tonight as Ryan Patty ripping around in this number 30 machine. Let's hop on board real quick with Ryan Patty as he heads down the back straightaway, I believe, there out of Boston, Massachusetts. Ryan Patty going to see what kind of lap time he can put down here as he's running out of time. It's all about the first lap here in qualifying at New Hampshire, it's looking like. So we're going to see what he's got here as he crosses the line here. Ryan Patty is slow. 18th here, but he's continuing going here. Let's see if he does another lap. I think he's going to. So the second lap should be better than that first lap, I would hope, as Minnesota Skull has gifted a mystery gift worth 650 joules. This guy is so rich. Who is this? Appreciate that as Ryan Patty rips it out of turn 4 for the final time. He's going to cross the line. What kind of lap time is Patty going to put down? 9th. So looks like he's going to be a field filler here tonight, folks. Not going to lie. As Steve Tucker from Aero Speed in that number 0 machine in the 7th position. We got Drift King in the chat. He's tuned in, watching these guys rip it around. Appreciate you joining us here, Drift King, as Steve Tucker's doing some illegal moves around the track. But, folks, it's official. Quick time. Jacob Malone, top of the board, going to kick off from the pole position here tonight. We got a quick little 5-minute warm-up, folks. These guys are going to fine-tune these race cars and get things ready to roll here at the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Don't you go anywhere. You're looking at Bentley Glazer in that 36 machine, Nikki Glazer's wife. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going HMS TV side by side. But when we get back, folks, it's going to be my favorite time of the night, grid time. So don't you go anywhere. You got just a couple-minute break here, and then we'll be right back to kick things off. We are back here at New Hampshire, and our warm-up is about to come to an end, folks, and it's about to be a grid time. I'm looking forward to this one, folks. We had a great real-life race here, and we got a handful of drivers not making it here tonight. I know a couple of them were maybe at the race or so. It looks like Nathan Finnegan, one of those. So, folks, that's going to wrap up the warm-up, and it's time to rack them up and get things started. We got some Icon Cup Series action starting up right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time right here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Tonight's starting lineup for some Icon Cup Series action is as follows. Starting on the front row from the pole position, the Sirius XM 54 machine, Jacob Malone on his outside, the 78, Brian Smith. Row number 2 on the inside, going to be the number 39 machine, Jake Rowell on his outside. It's the 08, Michael Taylor. Row number 3 on the inside, going to be the number 48, McConey Setup Shop, Junk. It's John McNeil on his outside, going to be the 28, Patrick Colby. Row number 4 on the inside, the number 0, Aero Speed, Steven Tucker on his outside, Zach Lockett. Row number 5 on the inside, the number 30 machine, Ryan Patty on his outside, the 19, Adam Reckenball. Row number 6 on the inside is the number 9, Chris Mackey, the 88 of Chris Camber. Row number 7 on the inside, Mike Gronell on his outside, Justin Bissonette. We got Cody Eldred, Brock Hersey, Jacob Smith, Kyle Gilbert, and folks, that's all we're going to get through here because I'm not sure if they're going green or not. So we're going to rack them up here, get things started. Appreciate you joining us here. Icon Cup Series action. We're going green here, folks. It's looking like. Stage 1 is going to be 40 laps. Stage 2 is going to be at the end of lap 110. So 201 laps to the distance here tonight at New Hampshire as the field is bunched up. Pace truck is in. We're ready to roll. Green flag into the air in New Hampshire. Jacob Malone heads into turn 1 up top here as he tries to hold on to the race lead. You got Brian Smith looking down low. Good run off the corner from your race leader of Jacob Malone. He's going to hold on to the spot for now. And here comes Michael Taylor looking on the outside, trying to take over the second spot. Taylor looking good up top as Brian Smith has right there underneath him trying to take over that spot. Currently in the 4th spot, you got Jake Rowell and John McNeil. It looks like Kyle Gilbert might have just junked it, but we're still clean and green here, folks. Here's Gilbert way back here in that 227 machine, but he's still rolling. So we jump back up front. Jake Rowell in the 4th position. Let's hop on board real quick. Check out that rear suspension cam with Jake Rowell. He's trying to hold off McNeil in that McConey Setup Shop 48. I tell you what, McConey setups, they kind of suck, folks, but good news for him. This is a fixed setup race, so John McNeil doesn't have to worry about that. We go up front here. Looks like Brian Smith starting to reel in your race leader of Jacob Malone. Is he going to be able to catch him as he's right there on the back bumper looking down low? Side by side off the corner, Malone going to hold on to the spot for now as Smith looks up top. We hop on board with our second place car, Brian Smith. It is tough to pass down low here. If you hold that middle to high line, you can really defend well when you're in clean air for sure. So the 54 Malone looking good up front. But let's jump up to our eyes in the sky. Take a look at this beautiful blimp shot here. That's right, folks. We got blimps flying around. We got drones everywhere. It is beautiful here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As they rip it around clean and green. Look at this live shot up high. This is our satellite shot, folks, as we are single file through most of the field. But we drop back here. We got a little bit of a battle right here, looking like Bentley Glazer, that's Nikki Glazer's husband, in the 19th position. Let's hop on board, trying to get around that 24 machine of Brock Hersey for a battle in 18. Going up front, though, we got a battle for the lead as the 54 Malone holds the top line. Can Smith make the bottom work? Connor Gerard in the chat says paint scheme of the night contenders are the 19 machine. He is on the list, so let's take a look at Adam Ball. Here is Adam Ball. Get a closer look here. You got the weather front machine here of Adam Ball in the 19. The 08 is in the running here tonight. We'll take a look at the 08. Michael Taylor currently battling with Jake Rowell in a battle for third. That's a good-looking car for sure. And we knew the 9 machine, Chris Mackey, was going to be in the running. Connor Gerard loves Chris Mackey. And then the final contender for paint scheme of the night, it's going to be the 47, Zachary King. So there are your paint scheme of the night contenders as Brian Smith has taken over the race lead. We'll go back here, look at the replay for the pass for the race lead is right here. So it looked like Brian Smith got down low there, gets a run into the corner, and then he's just able to clear him. So that was the pass for the race lead. As we jump back up here to live, we see John McNeil cruising in the 5th position. Currently, we pull up your hard chargers, and it looks like Kevin Bankert in the 17th position, currently up 6 spots since the start of the race in that number 8 machine. So keep an eye on this 8 car as he is working through the field. Jacob Smith up 4 spots, and we got a couple of guys up 2, and then not much passing aside from that. So we check out here Jake Rowell in the 3rd position. We're going to hop on board with Rowell as we're on the HMS TV nose cam. Got the Coke Zero Sugar Daytona number 39 machine. I'm sorry, this is a Coke Zero Sugar 400. But it's Brian Smith out front. You got Jacob Malone, Jake Rowell, Michael Taylor, and John McNeil rounding out your top 5. Again, we know these guys can make it about 55 laps on fuel, so should be able to make it to the end of stage number 1 as we are clean and green here. Icon Cup Series action sponsored by TZO Designs, and it looks like Malone with a run on the inside line. He's going to take over the race lead with a slide job. Boy, what a move from Jake Malone as he holds off Brian Smith in the top spot for now. Lillian King in the chat, pulling for Zach King. Lillian, hate to say it, but Zach King running 21st right now. That 47 car, not a lot of speed here early on in the night, but good news for him. He's still got a long way to go. We're only in the lap number 12 out of 201 laps as Jake Malone holds on to the race lead. Let's rewind this, folks. Take a look at this pass. This run here, Malone off the corner. Looks like Smith just kind of touches the wall and then Malone blows right by him. So there you have it. Jacob Malone made quick work of Brian Smith to take over that top spot once again. Here comes Smith, though, trying to get to that quarter panel on the left side of the 54 machine as they head down the front straightaway. Jacob Malone out of Land O'Lakes, Florida, holds on to the top spot. So we drop back in the field a bit here. We got Chris Camburn in the 88 machine. Let's take the drone down for a quick flyby, see what's going on with Mr. Chris Camburn. There he is, the Ditech.com 88 machine. Right now in a battle for the 13th position there with the 06 of Justin Bissonette, and he's going to hold on to the spot here. So beautiful shot here of Chris Camburn out of Charleston, South Carolina. Meanwhile, Mike Grinnell in the 55 machine out of Fairhaven, New York in the 15th spot. So we'll keep an eye on Mike as he's ripping around here at New Hampshire. Jacob Malone still out front as your race leader, but we pull up your biggest loser board, folks. This is one of my favorite boards to look at. Hanover Fist, currently in the 23rd position, has lost 4 spots since the start of this race. Not a good start to the night for the Albert Lee, Minnesota native of Hanover Fist in the 69 machine. Also on the board, Kyle Gilbert. We got Brock Hersey, Cody Eldred, and Mike Grinnell rounding out the board there. But we're early on here, folks. Not too many spots lost yet for any of these guys. As we have a battle for the race lead developing here once again, Brian Smith getting into the wall, holds on to second here in lap number 17 out of 40. Connor Gerard in the chat says he thinks the 47 could be saving his tires. So we'll see, Connor. See if Zachary King is trying to save some tires or if he's just struggling. There's no telling. Race lead here down to about a 10th and a half as Jacob Malone is right there in front of the 78 machine. Let's hop on board. Check out this battle right now. Right there, side by side, heading into turn number 1. Can the Jason Metalworks 78 machine of Brian Smith make the pass as they're door to door there coming out of the corner? Smith skims the wall there. Is he going to be able to carry enough speed to hold on to the spot as Brian Smith looks like he's got it? So Brian Smith back out to the point here into the race lead on lap number 19. Keep an eye on these guys as Jacob Malone looks to try the top lane out just a few times. See if he can find some speed that way. But we drop back in the field. Ryan Patty started in the 9th spot, currently running 10th. Not a lot of movement there for the 30 machine of Ryan Patty. So let's hop on board with the Boston, Massachusetts native. Good battles right here as the 4 machine. That is going to be Jacob Smith. Tries to take a pass. We got a 3-car battle for the 9th position. So it's going to be Ball in 9th, Patty in 10th, and then Smith sitting in 11th. These 3 are duking it out, trying to bring them 3 wide. Jacob Smith looking to make some moves and shake things up. Ryan Patty gets around Ball there as he makes the pass for 9th. The 4 machine of Smith looks to take over the 10th spot, and he's going to do so. But we got another battle just a bit over here. 3 cars duking it out. That's Steve Tucker in the 00, trying to get around Zach Lockett in the 93. Still Brian Smith out front, about a half a second lead. We're a little over halfway through stage number 1, 23 laps into the 40-lap stage. Again, 201 laps on tap here tonight. But let's see what else we got going on. Got a good battle right here. Patrick Colby going to give up a spot to Zach Lockett. So Lockett up to the 6th position as he makes the pass on Colby. Next closest battle on the track is right here. Mike Grinnell looking to make a pass on the 88 machine on the outside. Not going to get it done quite yet. As the 88 goes to work on Justin Bissonette, and he's going to door the hell out of him. Oh my goodness. The 88 is trying to take him out. The 06 of Bissonette tries to hold on to the spot as they're door to door. Boy, that was a dirty move. That reminded me earlier of Connor Zilic in the Cup Series race. Had the ARCA brake from hell. And the 88 tries to take out Grinnell, too. Boy, this guy is looking to junk somebody. He is not happy with these drivers here tonight. We're going to keep our eyes right here as the 88, Chris Camburn, wants to junk some race cars. Here's Chris Camburn. He said this over the radio after getting into Justin Bissonette. Listen in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Justin. I completely shot the corner there.
And then Bissonette responded.
That scared the hell out of me.
There you go. So they're not too mad with one another yet, but we got a side-by-side battle right here, it's looking like, as the 8 machine of Bankert going to give up a spot to Grinnell. So Bissonette sits in the 13th spot. When we go back out front, it's still Brian Smith into the race lead coming up on some lap traffic. You got Jacob Malone in the 2nd spot. Jake Rowell still in 3rd. Steve Tucker looks to the inside here of the 28 machine. And the 4 of Smith throwing a slide job on Ryan Patty, but we're watching these two door to door battling it out here. It's Steve Tucker and Patrick Colby down the front stretch. Oh, and Tucker tries to hook him. Oh, man, I thought Tucker was going to take him out there. As the 28 of Colby is able to save it, Tucker's going to take over the spot, but I don't think Colby's done, folks. We might be seeing some payback here. Take a look. Door to door, and there it is. Doors the hell out of him. That's a definitely intentional payback, but we'll see if Steve Tucker wants to give it back here as these guys continue to battle. We're seeing all the action here tonight as Jacob Smith looks to the inside trying to take advantage of these two going to war. So it's still Colby in the 6th or 7th position, and then we got a battle for 8th here as Jacob Smith and Ryan Patty's going to throw it sideways, and he's able to save it. Well, we got some great battles right here between this batch of cars. Steve Tucker going to war here with the 4 machine. That's the 28. Patrick Colby trying to hold off the 4. So we hop on board here with Jacob Smith. He is down low. You got Steve Tucker right above him. Jacob Smith going hard into these corners here, folks. And he's going to door the hell out of the 28. I tell you what, Patrick Colby is not happy here tonight. Everybody wants to door him. Look at this shot as the 4 machine goes down low here. Can he take over the spot? Slide job with a crossover move. Patrick Colby tries to take the spot back. So Jacob Smith in a good spot up top. Can he defend the line here? Holds on to the 7th position. Uh-oh, we got some mad drivers, folks. I think Patrick Colby just queued up here. He's got some words for Steve Tucker. Keep an eye on these two drivers. I think there's going to be more to this story by the end of it. And there you go. They're still dooring each other. There's going to be a wreck here, folks. We got 9 laps left to go before the stage end. Don't worry. We got some radio data to play for you here soon, folks. But we want to watch how the rest of this plays out as Steve Tucker is right there on the back bumper. We're watching this action live as Brian Smith still out front. That's about a quarter of a second lead. Let's see if Steve Tucker is going to take it easy now on that 28 machine. But we go back out front here. Brian Smith trying to hold off the 54 machine of Jacob Malone. All right, Patrick Colby had this to say just a moment ago, folks. So listen in. This is a radio replay transmission. Here it is.
You hit me one more time, I swear to God. Last 10 laps, all the same, brother.
Steve Tucker with the response there. So these two are not friends, but we'll keep an eye on them for sure as Brian Smith is trying to hold off the 54 of Malone as these two go to war. Seven laps remain here in stage number 1. It's still Brian Smith in the race lead. Looks like Patrick Malone trying the bottom lane. He almost clipped the barrels there going into the pits. Look at this here, folks. Let's rewind this. Take a look. Look at this line. Almost spins it out. Jacob Malone putting it all on the line, but we're still clean and green here. Brian Smith still out front. Patrick Colby said this earlier as well. Listen in.
No, not you. This fucking idiot with 0.
There you go. So, again, he making sure everybody knows exactly who he's talking to as we got a battle for the race lead. It's Brian Smith up top. Jacob Malone trying to make that apron line work. First time we've seen someone go down to the apron so aggressively. Jacob Malone has the inside line. Can he finish the pass here in New Hampshire? Off the corner, it's still going to be Brian Smith. 4 laps left to go here in stage number 1. It's Malone on the bottom, Smith on the top. Battle for the race lead continues. Oh, my goodness. Don't know if there was some contact there, but it looked like Smith gets into the wall a bit here. Going to be 3 laps remaining this time around. Malone out front. Smith trying to make the bottom work. We're going to hop on board. 3 to go. Looks like Malone has it in command for now, but we drop back here. These two are still battling. You got Steve Tucker in the 28, and he's going to give him the bumper here. I tell you what, the 28 is going to junk Steve Tucker by the end of this race. I promise you, Patrick Colby is not happy as we watch these two side by side heading into turn number 3. Off of 4, they are door to door, leaning on one another. 2 to go here in the stage. Colby up top, holding on to the 8th position for now, but Tucker with a run as they are side by side as Jacob Malone is still your race leader. Going to be the last lap here in the stage as Malone going to come out of 4 as your race leader. Boy, Jacob Malone making this apron line look bad fast. White flag in the air for the stage. Not really, but there is 1 lap left to go. We're catching all the action live here tonight, folks. I tell you what, I haven't missed one good battle yet. Checking out the chat, though, we got Jesse Becker says, this can only end good. You're right, Jesse. And then Jesse said, Blake, are you glad to be an icon again after handing me the reins 2 weeks in a row? Yeah, Jesse, I mentioned it earlier. It's been a while since I've been back here at Icon, but coming out of turn number 4, Jacob Malone wins stage number 1. It's going to be Brian Smith second. You got Zach Lockett third, followed by Jake Rowell and John McNeil rounding out your top 5. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break, gather our thoughts. We saw a little bit of everything there. Saw some rough racing, but, hey, we didn't even have a single caution. So it was a little dirty racing, a little clean, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take a short break and be right back. You're watching the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Todd Gilliland has a message. Go ahead, Todd.
Todd Gilliland here. You're tuned into the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord channel so you never miss a moment of the action. Did America's crew chief already tell you that?
Hey guys, it's NASCAR driver Matt DiBenedetto, and you are watching Hutchinson Motorsports TV, America's #1 iRacing broadcast service. So be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube today. It'll be the best decision you've ever made so you can watch us sim racers go at it on the track.
And we're back here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Jacob Malone wins the race off pit road, so he's going to restart on the front row here. He elects to take the outside line. It's going to be Brian Smith down low as the rest of the field bunches up, and we are ready to roll. Stage number 2 going to end at the end of lap 110 as the pace truck is in. Field is set. On your feet, off your seats. Green flag back into the air here in New Hampshire. Heading into turn 1, it's Malone out front. Brian Smith in the second position as the rest of the field bunches up, and they're junking it here, folks. Oh my gosh, they're junk. Caution's probably going to fly there, and there it is. Let's see what brings this one out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. So Ryan Patty heads into turn number 1. Gets into the 32 there a bit, but that had nothing to do with the wreck, as it looks like the 36 slams his brakes with the 48 slowing down, and Ryan Patty goes for a ride. So take a look here. Bentley Glazer, we hop on board. This is Bentley Glazer going into turn 1. You see a big checkup right here. He slams his brakes, trying to avoid the sideways car, and wham! Hard into the 48 he goes. So there you have it, folks. Our first wreck of the night. We're going to rack them back up, do it again. So we're in lap number 46 out of 201 here tonight. It's Malone, Smith, Lockett, Rowell, and Jacob Smith rounding out your top 5. And as we look at the board here, folks, looks like everybody took 4 tires on that last pit stop, so no varying strategies or anything. But Jacob Malone, he definitely found some long-run speed using that apron line. So we're going to keep our eyes on that, see if more cars elect to try out that apron line. But nonetheless, folks, we're going to rack them back up, try it again, and take a look at this. Wow. Hutchinson Motorsports TV is the world's #1 streaming service. From over-the-top calls to electrifying action, we bring it all to the table.
The whole field's junking it! It's a drag race to the checkered flag in the air. Justin Thompson wins the Harpoon Design 500.
But the action doesn't just stop when the stream ends. Whether you're looking for a broadcaster or looking to secure your spot in our next special event, the best way to get a hold of us, and the only way to enter our exclusive events, is to join the HMS TV Discord server.
Don't get left on the trailer. What are you waiting for? Join the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord community today by scanning the QR code shown on your screen. We'll see you there.
What a commercial there, folks. Check us out, Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord. You can also check out the website, HutchinsonMotorsportsTV.com. But we're going to rack them up here once again. It's going to be Malone on the top side again with the 78 of Brian Smith starting down low. It's going to be our second restart of the evening. Again, that was our first wreck. We had a stage break at the end of lap 40, but we're going to the end of lap 110 here for stage number 2. Jacob Malone going to try to get another good restart. Last one was about as good as can be. Let's see if he can do it again, though. Pace truck about to take the hard left down pit road as they bunch them up here. Side by side, Icon Cup Series action. Pace truck in. Field is set. Into the radio replay. Restart zone. Green flag. Back in the air. Down to the bottom there, I believe that's going to be Jacob Smith in the 4 machine. Jacob Smith's been one of the more aggressive drivers on the night in that number 4. Let's see if he can make some more moves through the field. Currently side by side in a battle for the 5th spot. See the race leader there using the apron again. As we are still clean and green, Jacob Smith going to fall in the line in the 6th spot. Meanwhile, Patrick Colby out of Montgomery in the 10th position. Let's hop on board, see what Patrick Colby's up to in the 10th spot. Looks like we got a side-by-side battle there briefly with Zach Lockett and Michael Taylor battling for the 4th position. Let's see if Lockett can get around him. Tennessee Titans fan, Zach Lockett trying to enjoy the rest of the summer because we know here in the coming months, it's going to be a long season for them. Tennessee Titans, they always think they're going to be better, and they never are, folks. So I don't feel any empathy for Zach Lockett has to root on that horrible football team down in Nashville, Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans. Cody Eldred running out of Charlotte, North Carolina in the 13th position. Cody Eldred is number 1 in the Cody Eldred power rankings still. Yeah, folks, that's right. All season long, Cody Eldred has been in the number 1 position in those power rankings done by none other than the 32 machine of Cody Eldred. I'm sure Cody's feeling good tonight. Top 13 run. I think he can hold on to that top spot. I believe he has Brian Smith second in those standings, but maybe that'll change. Meanwhile, we got a battle right here. Looks like Jake Rowell looks to the inside. He's going to try to make a pass for the race lead from Jacob Malone. There it is. Slide job for the top spot out of Northville, Michigan. Jake Rowell goes into the top spot. Meanwhile, Jacob Malone trying to make the bottom lane work once again. I bet he's going to go down to the apron here, and it looks like he's going to do so as the car washes up a bit. Not sure he's going to get a good run off the corner here. So Rowell holds on to the top spot here for now as we hop on board the HMS TV right rear suspension cam of your race leader of Jake Rowell. Steve Tucker currently runs in the 7th spot. Not here to make friends here tonight, so we're going to hop on board, see if we can find a way around that 93 machine of Zach Lockett, who's currently sitting in 6th. Oh, look out, the 54 kicks it sideways. That's the risk when you run the apron line, but he's able to save it, keeps it rolling. Jacob Malone, side by side in 2nd right now. So Brian Smith makes the pass here, takes over the 2nd spot. It's still Rowell out front. Michael Taylor in the 4th spot. Good-looking car there for Michael Taylor. Looking around the track as we jump up to the HMS TV blimp cam, see what else we got going on. Drop back here, Kevin Bankert in the 15th spot, up 8 positions. Pretty good start for Bankert, but he's kind of plateaued out there around the 15th position. But your hard charger on the field right now, it's going to be the 5th position car of Jacob Smith in the number 4. So Smith up 12 positions. You got Banker up 8, and really nobody else has made much moves here through the field. So 2 cars stand out of your HMS TV hard charger board. So we're going to pull up your lap leaderboard. Jacob Malone, 30 laps led. Brian Smith, 23. And Jake Rowell with 5. So just 3 different leaders here tonight. Take a look back here at the 24 machine. Brock Hersey out of Indian Land, South Carolina. Caution is out here. And Zach Lockett is junk. Let's take a look what happened. Did Lockett get some help here? Well, here's a 93 machine. I think he's a solo spin here, folks. We'll take a look. Yeah, he just kicks it sideways there, goes down to the apron, and thankfully doesn't catch anybody else. So Zach Lockett does the right thing. He locks it up here after spinning it. Rest of the field gets by, so we're going to bunch them up again here, folks. We're going to HMS TV, side by side. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a short break. Click the like button if you haven't done it. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Let us know who you're rooting for. We'll be right back. And we're back here at New Hampshire. Jake Rowell holds on to the race lead here. You got Steve Tucker up to second after it looks like a fuel-only stop for Tucker, so not sure how that's going to work out. Keep an eye on that zero car. You got Adam Ball, looks like a fuel-only stop as well. So varying strategies. I think Rowell took 2 tires. Tucker takes 0. So we're going to keep our eyes on these two here for sure as the field's racked up and ready to roll. Pace truck is in. Rolling into the radio replay restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Solid jump there from Jake Rowell. Holds on to the race lead. You got a side-by-side battle. A couple of guys who took no tires. That's Steve Tucker. Holds on to the spot. You got Adam Ball in the third. We got a car blinking really bad. I believe that's Cody Eldred struggling with his connection here. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure as Patrick Colby trying to navigate through all of this traffic. Let's hop on board with him. Cody Eldred blinking really bad here. Hopefully he can figure that out. But for now, Jake Rowell, your race leader. You got Tucker, Smith, and Ball rounding out your top 5. Look at this side-by-side battle. Jacob Smith and Brian Smith duking it out for the third spot. Both these two guys, I believe, took 2 tires on that last pit stop. So, oh no, they're junk. Hard into the walls. Chris Mackey looks like the 30 of Patty involved as well. Oh, man, Ryan Patty is probably junk here, folks. Let's see what happened. Into the corner there. Patty just loses it and straight up the track into the 9 of Mackey. Looks like the 28 catches them. 08 with very minimal damage as well. So just a couple cars involved in that one, folks, and that's unfortunate as Ryan Patty loops it around. So going to be interesting here. That last stop, Steve Tucker took fuel only, and the rest of the field, for the most part, elected to go with 2 tires. So a couple of different varying strategies. We know in the Cup race today, tires didn't really seem to matter that much. So taking none versus 2, I don't think it's really going to kill Steve Tucker, but eventually it might come back and bite him. But we'll just have to wait and see. We're here on lap number 65 out of 201. Again, stage 2 is going to end at the lap of 110. So we got a bit of a ways to go before we worry about any stage breaks or the finish of this race. But, folks, real quick, Larry McReynolds has a fast message. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
We are back here at New Hampshire. We're on lap 67, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, 6-7. We're racked up and ready to roll. It's Jake Rowell up top, Steven Tucker down low, bunched up side by side. Pace truck is in. Let's hop on board. Your race leader, Jake Rowell, as he rolls into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Heading into turn one, another good jump from your race leader. We got a 3-wide battle for second here as the 4 machine is trying to make a move, and they are junk in the back here, folks. Well, it looks like Brock Hersey involved in that one. Let's see what happened here, folks. Brock Hersey involved. So here it is on the start. That's the 24 machine. 48 behind them as they go into the corner. Gets a little bit of a bump, and then the 48 just flat out junks him. John McNeil looks intentional. I think, yep, folks, confirmed intentional. So there you have it. Caution's out. Boy, I tell you what, we had a clean race going until our first caution of the night, and it's kind of been rough ever since. But, hey, that's what happens here at these mile tracks. They say cautions breed cautions, and I think that's been proven here tonight as Jake Rowell, still your race leader. Jacob Smith looking like he took over second there, and I believe Steve Tucker fell from second back to fourth there on that short restart as we're in lap number 69. We got Connor Gerard in the chat, chatting it up with Jesse Becker. Who else is in the chat? We saw Daryl Young Jr. in there a bit and some others, but wonder what Connor's thinking in the paint scheme of the night. Who's going to take home the coveted award? Now, Connor, Chris Mackey, he junked his race car earlier. Although he is still racing, so he is still in the running for paint scheme of the night, but not running very well. And we know Connor takes away points when people drop to the back. So not looking good for Chris Mackey here tonight. He's going to try to do some more repairs to that number 9 machine. We know Adam Ball, though, is in the running for the paint scheme of the night. We'll take a look here at Adam Ball. Here is that number 19. They call him the Wrecking Ball. I don't know why they call him that, but got Next Lab weather on the car. Weather front on the front. Never heard of it. Probably one of those terrible apps that sends you all those scammy-looking pop-up ads. But not a bad-looking car for sure for Adam Ball. So we'll see if Adam Ball can take home this paint scheme of the night from Connor Gerard in that number 19 Chevrolet. Looks like Jake Rowell, he's going to try out the bottom lane here on this restart. Not sure about this decision. Looks like the leader has chosen the high lane every single other time here tonight, but Rowell's going to test it out here on the bottom. Here they come out of turns 3 and 4. You're going to see that pace truck take the hard left into pit road any moment. There we go. Here he is. Heads on down into pit road here. We're bunched up door to door. Rowell on the inside. Smith on the outside. Green flag in the air. Good jump there from Jake Rowell. He's going to hold on to the race lead as they head into turn number 1. So it's Rowell with Jacob Smith in second, Steve Tucker third, and you got Brian Smith trying to make a move to get around him. Nothing changing up front here as Brian Smith tries to make the pass on Steve Tucker. You got the 08 machine of Michael Taylor sitting in the 5th spot for now, but here comes the 54 of Jacob Malone. We know Malone's got a lot of speed here tonight. Don't count him out as he looks to the inside here. He's going to use that apron line. Not going to work for him there quite yet, as it looks like the 78 of Brian Smith gets around Tucker for the 3rd spot. So that's going to move Tucker back to 4th, and we got some battles here as a 54 of Jacob Malone looks to make some moves as well. The Land O'Lakes native Jacob Malone straight down to the apron. He goes, trying to make the pass on Steve Tucker for fourth, sorry. But it's still Rowell, your race leader, and Jake Rowell just put down the fastest lap time of the night, ladies and gentlemen. So our race leader is on the move right now with a 29.70 lap time. Fastest car on the track. Looks like Jacob Smith starts to reel him in. Jacob Smith now the fastest car on the track, a 29.65 lap time. So it looks like the track is actually speeding up here later on in this race, folks. Good battle right here as Michael Taylor tries to make a move around Steve Tucker in a battle for the 5th position. We got some radio transmission. Listen in.
I don't know how that works, but
There you go, Jacob Malone.
I liked it.
And then Steve Tucker responded. I have no clue what they're talking about, folks, but we'll keep an eye on it for sure as Tucker tries to hold off the 08 machine of Taylor. And remember, Steve Tucker on slightly older tires than these race leaders. So we're still clean and green. We are 37 laps into stage number 2. Going to be a 70-lap stage here, so we're just over halfway done. These guys should have to pit one more time in the stage. As we take a look at the pit strategy board, everybody pit about 18 laps ago here, and we still got about 32 remaining. So I don't know. It's going to be close. They might be able to make it the rest of the way on stage 2 on fuel, but I'm not sure. We'll just wait and see. So it's Michael Taylor here trying to make a move around Tucker. You got Patrick Colby, who had some words for Tucker earlier, right there with him as well. So keep an eye on this 28 machine of Patrick Colby. See if he can get up to that 0 car. Maybe take him out. You see Jacob Malone still ripping that apron up front here. 54 machine. He's really the only one successfully running that line down on the apron, and he really seems to like it. Well, we drop back here, door-to-door battle for the 5th spot. Looking like the 08 car has a run right now. Looks a little bit faster than Tucker, but Tucker doing a good job defending as they're starting to lean on each other. Not sure if the 08's very happy or not. We'll find out here. It looks like he's going to make the pass. So throwing a slide job, taking over the 5th spot as the 0 throws a slide job crossover maneuver, but I think Taylor's got him. Patrick Colby now tries to make a move on Tucker. He's going to try the top lane here, currently in the 7th spot. Run off the corner here, and Tucker's going to cover up. Good battles right here between 5th and 7th. Patrick Colby looking to make some moves. It's still Jake Rowell out front with about a 4/10 of a second lead. You got Malone in 3rd, Brian Smith 4th, with Michael Taylor rounding out your top 5. Connor Gerard in the chat says, all I know is that Tucker better look out for the 28 as he's looming in the top 10. So I'm right there with you, Connor. That 28 car might have some payback up his sleeve earlier, but we drop back in the field a bit. Kevin Bankert currently in the 12th position trying to make some moves on the 32 machine, but closest battle on the track still seems to be, honestly, right here between 2nd and 3rd. That's Malone trying to get around Jacob Smith. So your top 3, folks, we got a Jake in the lead, and then we got Jacob 2nd, Jacob 3rd. It's Battle of the Jakes here tonight at the beautiful New Hampshire Motor Speedway here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Take a look at your graphic here, folks. Again, we're out here at Loudon, New Hampshire. 110 degrees on the track right now. Fixed setup. These drivers got 5 tire sets, no fast repairs. In the booth, yours truly, the GOAT, Blake Hutchinson. Been a fun one here tonight, but we'll see what's up these drivers' sleeves here as we are halfway done with stage number 2. Looks like Malone's going to cover up here for now. Takes over the second spot from Jacob Smith. Brian Smith still looming right there in the third spot. Meanwhile, Patrick Colby ripping it in 7th. You got Adam Ball 8th and Zach Lockett trying to make a move here for that 8th spot. All right, Connor Gerard with official word. The 4 is now in the paint scheme of the night finalist list. Looks like the 47 called it a night, so Connor has removed him from the paint scheme of the night contention. Jacob Smith is now a contender for this paint scheme of the night. This is a big deal, folks. Let's check him out here, get a closer look at this number 4 machine of Jacob Smith. Got the Midwest Euro Parts number 4 machine. You got Batman on the car. This is a beautiful one, folks. That's a throwback Batman. Oh, getting a little bump there from his teammate, Brian Smith, trying to junk him. Good run tonight, though, for Jacob Smith. He is your hard charger on the evening, and he's passed more cars than anybody, and it's not even close. Best battle on the track is right here for the 3rd spot as Brian Smith looks down low. It looks like he's going to get a run here and take over the 3rd position. So now Brian Smith finds himself into a podium spot with Jake Rowell still out front. I tell you what, Rowell didn't look that impressive the first 30 or so laps, but he's figured something out, folks. He's got a lot of speed, but I think Jacob Malone, probably the best car on the track right now. We'll see if Malone can reel him in. Race lead at about half a second. We hop on board with the Land O'Lakes native. Race leaders coming up on some lap traffic here. We'll see if they play a factor in this battle for the lead. Boy, Malone was reeling in your race leader, but he's starting to get a little bit loose there in the corners trying to run that apron line. 20 fans tuned in here. Jake Rowell, your race leader. Icon Cup Series action as we drop back in the field a bit. We've got a battle for the 12th position as Mike Grinnell looks to make a move. Let's hop on board with Grinnell. The Fairhaven, New Yorker Mike Grinnell currently sits in 13th trying to get around the 32 machine of Cody Eldred. Meanwhile, race lead still right at about half a second. A little bit higher now as Malone's starting to fall off a bit. Jake Rowell has gained a little bit of speed, it looks like. So it's Malone in 2nd. You got Smith 3rd, Smith 4th, and then Michael Taylor rounding out your top 5. As we are clean and green here. Lap number 92 out of 201. We're not even halfway done with this one, folks. We still got a ways to go as Jacob Malone ripping that apron line. $18 laps left to go this time around here in stage number 2. It's still Rowell in the race lead. He's led quite a few laps here tonight as we pull up your HMS TV lap leaderboard. 40 laps led already here for Jake Rowell. Jacob Malone with 30 led, Brian Smith with 23. So your top 3, the only 3 that have led any laps here tonight. No surprise there. Meanwhile, Brian Smith tries to reel in that 54 machine of Jacob Malone, so we're going to hop on board with him as we get on the HMS TV dash cam with Brian Smith in the 3rd spot. Now, folks, take a look at your screen. Coming up this Friday, the HMS TV Cup Series kicks back off. Look at that schedule. There's actually a change on there. Coronado is going to be week number 2, but nonetheless, the rest of it's right. We got Daytona kicking off here this week on Friday the 28th. That is this coming Friday. Coronado actually going to be week 2. Then we have Texas week 3. Then the rest of the schedule's right. So, folks, if you want to join the HMS TV Cup Series, join our Discord today. That's discord.gg/HMS TV. I think that link still works. It may. I don't know. But nonetheless, in the description, there should be a link for the Discord channel. You can join us and join that Cup Series. Going to be a fun season. 15 races kicking off this coming Friday. So you don't want to miss out. We're going to be in the next gen once again. It's going to be a fun one. As Jake Rowell tries to hold off Jacob Malone as Malone looks underneath your race leader. Caution is out. Chris Camburn is junk in that 88. Well, I tell you what, that caution bails out Jake Rowell. Looked like he was about to get past, but here's the 88 of Camburn. Let's see what happens here. Well, just loses it there off the corner. Locks it up, able to save it essentially, but unfortunately had to stop there, brought out the caution. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break, gather our thoughts, get yourself an ice cold beverage, gives you time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and check out our Discord. Again, in the description of this video, you can join the Discord, join the HMS TV Cup Series. We're kicking off Friday night coming up soon. We are back here live, green flag in the air. Jake Rowell, still your race leaders. We have a side-by-side battle for the second position as Brian Smith, Jacob Malone duking it out here. I was kind of shocked to see really nobody went down pit road up front here. Looking through the field, actually a handful of them did. So varying strategies here. Looks like our top 6 or 7, nice, did not go down pit road, and essentially everybody else did. So going to get interested in how this all plays out. Just 10 laps left to go in stage number 2. These guys trying to get them some stage points. They did not want to give up their track position. And Brian Smith looking to make the pass for second. He's going to do so as Malone falls back to third. Meanwhile, Michael Taylor side by side with the 4 machine of Jacob Smith for that 4th and 5th position. Now, Steve Tucker pit there on that last caution. He is the first car on this alternate strategy of pitting. He's got fresh tires, so keep an eye on Tucker. He should be faster than all the cars in front of him, and he gets into the 4. He's sideways. Hard into the wall. Caution is out, and the ARCA brake from hell. Oh, my goodness. What an ARCA brake. My goodness, I believe that's Kyle Gilbert. Let's take a look at what happened. Steve Tucker here on the back bumper of the Ford. Looks down low here. Yeah, the 4 might have came down there a bit, so I don't know, folks. You guys be the judge, and then look at this. Wham! Well, I tell you what, the 227 had a Connor Zilic moment. I don't know if you watched the Cup race earlier. This reminded me of Connor Zilic, one of the worst drivers in the series. Here's Kyle Gilbert. So, look, they're wrecking right now. And then Kyle Gilbert says, you know what? Steve Tucker's up here. I'm going to get him. My goodness. Looked like he turned right up towards him. Kyle Gilbert, what the hell are you doing? So, caution's back out here. That's caution number 7 on the night. And I believe that is the stage, I'd assume. I'm not sure, folks. We'll get back, do some digging, do some researching, and we'll be right back. You're watching Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We'll see you in just a moment. Don't you go anywhere. Things are starting to get interesting. We're over halfway done. And we're back here at New Hampshire. Not sure that is the stage or not, honestly. I feel like it's not because your race leaders did not elect to pit there. So could be a 5-lap shootout here until the end of the stage. But we'll find out here shortly, folks. We're racked up, ready to roll. We do have some radio replay traffic to play from that last incident. But we'll wait on that here, folks. As we are side by side, it's going to be Jake Rowell going with the top line. That's going to be the 78 of Smith down low. Pace Trucks infield is set. Door to door, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Green flag back in the air. Good jump there from Rowell. He holds on to the race lead, but we got a battle for second. That's Brian Smith on the top line here. He's going to defend it from the 54 of Jacob Malone. And here comes the 08. It's Michael Taylor taking over the 3rd spot. Four laps left to go in stage number 2. Jake Rowell, dominant performance here in the stage. Can he hold on and bring home the win for the stage number 2? We're going to find out here as we are still clean and green, and hard of the wall goes a 28. He's junked. Caution is out, and that's definitely going to be the end of stage number 2. Let's take a look. Man. Let's see, off the corner here. Oh, the 06 just loses it there, and then right hooks the 28, and hard into the fence goes both of them. Got some junked race cars, hurt feelings. These guys are mad, folks. Well, listen in. This was from our last caution, not that caution, but the one before. So it all started. Jacob Smith had this to say about Steve Tucker. Listen in.
Yeah, drive through me. That's a good idea.
All right,
Pressure
Steve.
tires, no patience.
There we go. Then Steve Tucker responded. Actually, I don't know if I should play this. I probably should not play this, but he said you literally came down right in front of me with some other choice words that are not going to bleep out that I don't want on air. And then Jacob Smith.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. Dude, you are on brand new tires. Just be patient. Like, you're going to get around us. That's the thing.
That's a fair thought there, and I believe Steve Tucker responded with this.
Doesn't matter. You came down on me, dude. Watch it back.
All right, so you guys be the judge. What do you think? The 4 might have came down a little bit, but did Tucker have the right-of-way of the line yet? I don't know, folks. It was a close decision. I believe Race Control deemed it a racing incident, so who knows? But we're going to rack them up here once again, folks. We are on lap number 109. Jake Rowell, officially your Stage 2 winner here, but things are going to get shooken up a bit as it looks like Adam Ball is going to hold on to the race lead here. And we got Jacob Smith going to start right there beside him. Altering strategy. Some of these guys pit on our last caution, so they're able to flip the stage essentially. So we'll see if it works out. So Adam Ball, your race leader, going to take the high line. You got Jacob Smith going to restart down low. Row 2, you got Ryan Patty and McNeil there side by side. So we'll keep an eye on these 4 up front. See if we can knock out some laps here. We still got about 90 laps remaining, 91, 92 actually. Going to get interested for sure. So no more stages. We're just hopefully going to knock out some green flag laps. Get some long green runs. Maybe we'll see a green flag pit stop. I doubt it, though. Connor Gerard, though, says battle for paint scheme of the night in the top 2. That is true. We got Adam Ball and Jacob Smith in the front row, both battling for the Connor Gerard paint scheme of the night. But Ball is your race leader for the first time of the evening. Pace car is in. Field is set. On your feet. Off your seats. Green flag in the air. Into turn number 1, Jacob Smith looks down low. Can he take over the top spot as Adam Ball ripping the top? Don't look now, though. Here comes Ryan Patty. First time we've seen him out front trying to duke it out here and take over one of these top 2 positions. Meanwhile, Brian Smith, after pitting on the stage, has fallen back to the 7th spot, but he's working through the field as we hop on board in the 7th position of Northville, Michigan. Brian Smith looks to make some moves. Side-by-side battle here as Kevin Bankert tries to hold off the 54, and he's not going to do so. He's going to give up the 9th position as he falls back to 10th. Kevin Bankert in the 8 machine. Jacob Smith into the race lead here. Fastest lap of the race just turned by your race leader, a 29.51. Jacob Smith is on a mission right now. He is ripping it. Keep an eye on that 4 machine of Jacob Smith trying to bring home the win here in New Hampshire. 88 laps remain, and we got a battle right here, folks. Take a look at these two as Jake Rowell making a pass on the 48 of McNeil. We know Rowell, one of the better cars on the track. Can he work back through the field as he's sitting in the 5th position? Connor Gerard says, this feels like the real race today at New Hampshire, and I'm right there with you, Connor. I agree. A lot of things just like it. So we'll see if we can knock out some green flag laps. Jacob Smith out front in Northville, Michigan. Or from Northville, Michigan. But let's check out your HMS TV blimp cam. Look at this beautiful shot right here as we drop back here. Looking at Ryan Patty trying to get around the 39 machine as Roel takes over fourth. Zach Lockett sits in the 12th position now, battling with Kevin Bankert for 11th. As we bring up your HMS TV hard charger board, it's obviously your race leader, up 16 spots. Impressive outing here from Jacob Smith. Caution is out here. Let's see what happened. John McNeil's junk into the wall. See what happened here. If John might have got some help. So there's a 48 machine, comes up the track. Just a little bit, 54. I don't know, you be the judge there. I think the 54 left him a lane there, so just a racing deal, unfortunately, for John. So we'll rack him back up here again. May as well take a short break, gather an ice cold beverage. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back here live at New Hampshire Motor Speedway Icon Cup Series. Caution number 9 here in lap 120. It's going to be Jacob Smith on the inside with Michael Taylor on the outside. See if we knock out some laps here, folks. Been a long one here, not going to lie. 201 miles here at New Hampshire. Quite a few. I think the real race only had 301, so we're 2/3% here as the pace truck is in. Field is set. It's Smith on the inside, Taylor on the outside. Green flag in the air. Smith going to cover up here, go back to the top as he enters the corner. Holding on to the race lead, it's Taylor second, Roel third. And we got cars all over the place on back. Ryan Patty trying to hold on to his top 5 spot right now, sitting in 6th here as we hop on board with Ryan Patty on the 30. Here comes Jacob Malone in that 54 machine. We know Malone, one of the quicker cars on the evening, but he's got to get through some traffic here as Jacob Smith is off pace here. He's lost a few spots. Was in the race lead. Well, something happened. He slipped off the corner, falls back to the 4th position. So he'll have to get back to work as Michael Taylor takes over the top spot with 79 laps left to go. Michael Taylor out front. Jake Rowell in the 2nd position, trying to reclaim that race lead. He led a lot of laps middle of this race. Let's see if he can do it again as the 78 of Brian Smith looks down to the inside. Door-to-door battle here for the 2nd spot. It's Rowell up top, Smith down low. Michael Taylor, your race leader. Connor Gerard still chatting it up. Always tuning in, Connor Gerard. One of the GOATs of HMS TV, that's for sure. Be sure shoot him a message if you're hanging out in the chat. Let Connor know who you're pulling for, what you're seeing. We know Connor's seen just about everything out here tonight as we hop on board with Jake Rowell in the 2nd position, trying to hold off Brian Smith. Jacob Smith 4th. You got Jacob Malone rounding out your top 5 here. Chris Mackey in the 9th position here out of Ackworth, Georgia, was involved in an incident earlier. Looks like he's got that car fixed up. He had some serious damage, but it looks like it's all right now. The good news is he had a lot of cautions to work on it. So Chris Mackey sitting in 9th trying to work on these two in front of him. It's still Michael Taylor in the race lead. About 4 to 5 tenths of a second is what he's got on Jake Rowell. It looks like Rowell might be falling off just a little bit here. We'll keep our eyes as Brian Smith is trying to take over that 2nd spot. Connor Gerard just, he's got a message, folks. Important stuff here. He says the 08 could win paint scheme of the night still if he wins this race. So Connor changing up the rules a bit. That's how this goes, though, folks. The Connor Gerard paint scheme of the night, it's got no rules other than Connor has to award it. So let's see if Connor changes his mind, gives that 08 the paint scheme of the night. But it's going to get interesting here as we got a side-by-side battle for the 2nd position. That's Brian Smith down low, Jake Rowell up top. So Rowell able to defend the position for now. Brian Smith falls into the 3rd spot once again. You got Jacob Malone 4th. Jacob Smith rounds out your top 5. But we go back here. Zach Lockett running in the 7th spot in that Tennessee Titans car. One of the worst football franchises there are, folks. Looks like we got a 3-car battle, though, brewing here for the race lead. They're still side by side for 2nd. That's Smith and Rowell. Meanwhile, Ryan Patty still sitting in the 6th position. Sandwich in between Lockett in 7th and Jacob Smith right in front of him in 5th. Kyle Gilbert had the ARCA break from hell earlier out of Paducah, Kentucky in the 15th position. We'll hop on board with him. Tell you what, don't spin out on the track with Kyle Gilbert out there because he'll hit the hell out of you. We saw it there earlier. It was a beautiful one, folks. One of my favorite ARCA breaks of this Icon Cup Series season. We got a battle for the race lead here. Brian Smith makes quick work of Michael Taylor, takes over the top spot. For the first time since stage number 1, Brian Smith back into the race lead. Taylor falls to second. Malone into the third spot. Then we got Rowell and Jacob Smith rounding out the top 5 here as we hop on board with Jacob Malone. "69 laps left to go, ladies and gentlemen. 69. Am I right? I don't get it. Brian Smith looking good out front as the battle for second continues. It's Taylor and Malone, and you got to think it's a matter of time before Malone makes that pass. On board, the race leader, Brian Smith. Lap 134 out of 201. The Icon Cup Series, sponsored by TZO Designs. Brian Smith feeling good, using that apron a bit here to help rotate that car. Out of turn 4, Brian Smith going to cross the start-finish line. 67 laps remain here. 6-7. There you have it, as Brian Smith looking good out front. Still battling for second right here. It's Malone on the inside, Taylor on the outside. Malone going to cover up there. Takes over the spot. 21 fans tuned in here watching this one live at the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Be sure, folks, you haven't done it, click that like button for us. Subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, all that good stuff. As they come out of turn number 4, look at these beautiful shots around this track here in New Hampshire. Brian Smith, still your race leader, about a 7/10 of a second lead out front. Looking good here, per usual, for Brian Smith, trying to bring home another win on the season. He's been racking them up this year, but done a little bit of a cold spell lately. I do believe he ended his dry spell last week by winning, but it had been a while. Trying to go back-to-back here, though, at the Magic Mile. Connor Gerard in the chat says it's been a great race so far. I agree with you, Connor. We've had a pretty good one. Had our share of wrecks, but nothing too crazy quite yet. Had a couple good ones. But we look at this battle for the 4th spot. It's Jake Rowell trying to hold off Jacob Smith in that 4 machine. Meanwhile, we take a look at your HMS TV hard charger board, and ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Bankert on the top of that. 14 positions gained up to 9th here. Kevin Bankert on the move here in New Hampshire. Hop on board here with Kevin Bankert. Trying to get around Ryan Patty to get over that 8th position. Got a battle right here, side by side for 3rd. That's the 08 of Michael Taylor on the inside, trying to hold off the 39 of Rowell, and he's not going to do so. And it looks like Jacob Smith gets hard into the wall there, able to save it, though. Been an up and down race for Jacob Smith. He led some laps earlier, led a lot of laps earlier, actually. And right now he's holding on to 5th, but it looks like that car's struggling to rotate here with 61 laps left to go. These guys are going to have to pit one more time at least. We know they can make it about 55 on fuel or so. So here in the next 6 laps or so, guys could elect to pit if they wanted. But my guess is they're going to wait. You know, we've had our fair share of cautions here tonight, and I don't think too many of them are going to want to, you know, pit too early and get pinned a lap down, because last pit about 33 or so laps ago. So Still make it about 20 on fuel at least. Meanwhile, Chris Camburn in the 14th spot, trying to make a move and get around the 227. He's going to do so here for now. As we look at your manufacturers here, folks, you know what? Let's check out these manufacturers' standings. We haven't showed these off here tonight. Let me get a hold of them here, folks. One moment. Actually, I may not have them. I don't think we have them, folks. So, yeah, never mind. I'll tell you what we do have, though. The point standings. Brian Smith on the top of the board, 150-point lead on Jacob Malone there. So, your top two in points. They're running top two on the track as well. Big lead there for Smith. You got Zach Lockett, Nathan Finnegan unable to make it tonight, and then Ryan Petty running out your top five in points. Closest battle on the track right here. Ryan Petty in the 8th spot, trying to make a move around Adam Ball for 7th. Top on board. Side-by-side battle here, so we continue to duke it out as Brian Smith holds on to the top spot. Over the radio, we've got a transmission, and listen in, Jacob Malone.
I burnt my rears up. Damn it.
So Jacob Malone not feeling confident to be able to reel in Brian Smith. So my guess is, you know, if you're Jacob Malone, do you make the call to pit here early? I don't know. If you're trying to win this race, I think that's the move. You might pin yourself a lap down, which wouldn't be good, obviously, but if it stays green and you short pit, we're looking at tire fall off right now, and we got about a second of tire fall off. So not a ton of ground to be made, but just think, if you pit 10 laps earlier than the guy in front of you, that's potentially 10 seconds you can gain. So we'll wait and see as we hop on board here with Jacob Malone in second. You never know when he's going to pit because he runs that apron line every time. So 54 laps remain. Brian Smith, Jacob Malone, Jacob Smith. And we have Jake Rowell and Michael Taylor in your top five. Again, question is, when do our race leaders want to come down pit road? Zach Lockett sits in the 6th position. You got Ryan Petty behind him in 7th with Adam Ball 8th. Probably looking at a green flag stop, though, here soon because, again, these guys can probably make it another 20 laps on fuel at most. So you're definitely going to need at least a splash of gas. And my guess is you're probably looking at 4 tires. You may as well. Cars that have pit here and should be good to go the rest of the way. Chris Mackey and Steve Tucker. The only two that kind of short pit the field. They're going to try to gain some ground here. As you look, Chris Mackey with the fresh tires ran a 29.67 lap time. As your race leader just ran a 30.57. So, again, you know, we'll call it 9/10 of a second you're gaining on these fresh tires. Looks like the 19 going to come down pit road here. and the 06 of Bissonnet down pit road as well. So Jacob Smith going to pit too. So you got some of our race leaders heading down as Adam Ball's right there with them. Let's see if this changes things up for Brian Smith and Jacob Malone. Does this bring them down pit road? Going to be 50 laps to go this time around. Let's hop on board here. Brian Smith stays out as well as Jacob Malone. They're not ready to pit just quite yet. You know, if I'm Jacob Malone, I'm short pitting. I don't think he's going to pass Brian Smith on speed. I think the way to do it is to short pit him, gain a couple seconds here, and hopefully you can stay out in front of him after the pit stop. So we'll wait and see how this works out as Michael Taylor goes down pit road in that 08 machine as well. So nothing else changing up front here as Brian Smith continues to stay out and lead this race. And Jacob Malone, he's pitting. I like this decision from Malone. I'm not saying it's for sure a race-winning decision, but I don't think he's getting around Brian Smith. You know, if he just keeps doing what he's doing. So we'll see what Smith elects to do. Does this change his mind, make him want to pit? We're about to find out as we're on board with Brian Smith. Here comes Brian Smith down pit road. So there's your race leader. Brian Smith going to give up the top spot. Zach Lockett stays out, and he's going to take it over. Now you're going to see a couple of varying strategies here. Some of these guys, they may just stay out to the very end of this run and just hope for a caution, essentially. And others, you know, they're going to try to short pit, gain some ground on the front end. It's going to get interesting for sure. It's going to be Lockett out front, Patty second, Eldred third. All three are going to have to pit. Now let's check this race off pit road of Brian Smith. Is he going to stay out in front of Jacob Malone off of pit road? There's a 54 of Malone. Take a look. Malone trying to get around him. The 27 holds him up. Well, I tell you what, the 27 might have just saved the 78 of Brian Smith. I think Malone was going to have him passed. And the 227 just kind of a rolling chicane out there and just parked it in front of him. But nonetheless, look at this. This is going to be a battle for the race lead, essentially, as Jacob Smith has cycled into the top spot. If you remember, Jacob Smith, he pit 3 laps before Brian Smith. Then Jacob Malone pit 1 lap before Brian Smith. So these guys on pretty much the same tires, and short pitting's worked out for Jacob Smith so far, but still a ways to go. We got 45 laps remaining. Ryan Patty, currently a race leader. Again, he's going to have to pit here any moment. Now listen in here on lap 155. Looks like Jacob Malone had something to say.
Holy. Oh my God. Take a lane.
He's talking to the 224 there, I believe. So unfortunate there for Jacob Malone. Thought he was going to take over the initial race lead maybe, but not going to happen quite yet. But he's still got a shot at it as they're coming up on some lap traffic. That's going to be the 88 machine of Chris Camburn, and they are 3 wide. Brian Smith now, look out, they're 4 wide. Look at this racing here. These guys are duking it out. It's Brian Smith holding off Jacob Malone. Jacob Smith had this to say. I believe he was talking to the 88 of Camburn. Listening.
I mean, we're 3 wide for the lead, dude. Come on.
4 wide apparently.
Like, dude, just a little awareness, that's all.
I mean, I was just trying to stay predictable, let y'all go past.
There you have it. So there's some transmissions there. You listened in, and Ryan Patty chimed in and said, actually, I'm in the race lead, guys, which he was technically at the time, but Ryan Patty down pit road. So officially, Brian Smith going to take over the race lead in that 78 machine. Now, folks, let us know what you think of that transmission. Jacob Smith had some words for the lap car of Chris Camburn, but I'm going to be honest. I mean, Chris Camburn, he held his lane. I mean, if you're a lap car, I mean, you're not going to just pull over and park it. You're just going to kind of, wreck somebody if you do that. So not really sure what else, Chris Camburn could have done there. But, I mean, I get it. You're battling for the lead, and you get kind of screwed by a lap car. You're not going to be very happy. So we'll see how this plays out. But for now, it's Brian Smith, Jacob Malone, and Jacob Smith, your top three, with 41 laps left to go. On board with your race leader, Brian Smith. He has a 0.2 of a second lead on Jacob Malone. Last laps around, pretty similar for these two. So we're going to see how this all plays out. If Smith can hold on, is this race going to stay green? Or are we going to get some yellows? There's no telling. All you can do is stay tuned right here live at Hutchison Motorsports TV. We're going to take a quick side-by-side break. Going to grab a quick beverage. Been a lot of talking, solo calling here tonight. So I'm going to grab me a water, and I'll be right back, folks. Don't you go anywhere. You're not going to miss a lap of action. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back here, folks. Looks like the caution is out. Chris Camburn is junk. Let's take a look at what happened here. Side by side, the 06 up top there with Camburn. Comes off the corner. And the 06 just kicks a little loose and right hooks the 88 straight into the fence. There you have it. That Ditech.com 88 is junk here in Loudon. So, folks, we're going back to break here. Don't you go anywhere, though. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're running out of laps here. Less than 50 to go. We'll see you in just one more minute.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
And we're back here at New Hampshire. It's Brian Smith, your race leader. Jacob Malone going to line up beside him. Things are about to get interesting here, folks. Running out of laps. It's going to be about 44 laps remaining when we go green as the pace truck is in. Field is set. Fans are on their feet. They're off their seats. Green flag into the air. Into turn one, it's Brian Smith out front. Jacob Malone second, and Malone going to drop back a bit here, and he's still good. Looks like he lost his spot there briefly, but still holds on to the second spot as they get single file into the top five as Zach Lockett sits in the sixth spot. Ryan Patty right on his back bumper as Lockett looks to the inside of the 08. And oh no, straight up the track, Zach Lockett just murdered Ryan Patty in the field. Oh my, Zach Lockett, that looked like he just turned right to flat out junk him. Here it is, folks. Here is Ryan Patty on the 30. And then the 93 of Zach Lockett gets bumped there. Oh, there you go. Okay, so now we see what happened. Ryan Patty bumped Zach Lockett, upset the car, and that's what brought him straight back up. See this one more time here. Well, there it is. Bumps him right there. And then straight back up. Wham! Takes out Kevin Bankert. 55 involved as well. So, oh, wow, the 224 actually checked up for that wreck. So, caution's back out, folks. This is caution number 11 on the evening. Brian Smith, your race leader. About 42 laps left to go here, folks. Let us know in the chat what you think's going to happen. We know Connor's pumped up. Got Zach Lockett down pit road, of course, that junked race car. Mike Grinnell, Brock Persy, Ryan Patty, and Kyle Gilbert all down pit road.
Hey guys, it's NASCAR driver Matt DiBenedetto, and you are watching Hutchinson Motorsports TV, America's #1 iRacing broadcast service. So be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube today. It'll be the best decision you've ever made, so you can watch us sim racers go at it on the track.
Todd Gilliland here. You're tuned into the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord channel so you never miss a moment of the action. Did America's crew chief already tell you that?
And we're back here live, folks. Racked up, ready to get things rolling. Next time around, Brian Smith has control of this race. Folks, we're going to put a poll up in the chat. It's going to be who's going to win. We got Brian Smith, Jake Malone. We got 4 options, so we're just going to put the top 4. We'll put Roel and Jacob Smith. So take a look at the poll here, folks. We're going to start it up right now. Put your votes in. Let us know who you think's going to win. Who's going to be the favorite the rest of the way? I mean, my pick's going to be Brian Smith. He's got the command of the race. He just got so much experience holding on to the race lead. So we're going to find out as we hop on board. Brian Smith, pace truck's in. Field set. Fans are on their feet. They're off their seats. Green flags in the air. Heading into turn number 1, it's Brian Smith out front trying to hold off Jake Malone. And here comes Jake Roel down to the bottom to take over second. Hard racing up front here. As these guys go mostly single file, we are down to 11 cars on the track right now. So we're running out of race cars here tonight, folks. And we got some slow ones in the back. So half of these cars, I don't know if you'd even call them race cars. Like, I'm lying, actually. There's 11 on the lead lap, and we got a couple a lap down as well. So not too many left, though, nonetheless. So Brian Smith still in your race lead. Back to single file here out front for the most part. We'll hop on board with Brian Smith. Not too much changing out front. Again, it's basically single file here. Closest battle is right here. Michael Taylor in the 5th spot trying to make a move on the 4 machine of Jacob Smith. All right, folks, be sure to drop a vote in our chat here. On our poll, we got a side-by-side battle for second as Rowell leaning up on the 54 of Jake Malone, and they're not happy with another. Dooring each other down the entire straightaway, and the 39 throws a right rear at the 54 as well. If I'm Jacob Malone, I'm probably doing something about that. I might junk him. Down the back straightaway here, heading into turn number 3. Jake Rowell trying to stay in front of the 54. So Malone going to give up the 2nd spot for now as Rowell holds on to it. You got Jacob Smith in 4th. Michael Taylor rounds out your top 5. Brian Smith still out front. So let's hop on board here with your race leader of Brian Smith coming up on some lap traffic here. Going to be 24 laps remaining here with the Icon Cup Series at Loudon, New Hampshire. The Magic Mile, they call it. Don't know why they call it that. That's probably one of those nicknames, you know, you give yourself. There's nothing magic about this place other than it's a dump. Welcome to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Meanwhile, Michael Taylor battling it out here with the 4 machine of Jacob Smith. Side-by-side battle for the 4th position. This is your closest battle on the track, so we'll stay on board here with Michael Taylor as he's trying to make the bottom lane work. Not going to make the pass quite yet. Still sitting in the 5th spot. So again, down to 11 cars on the lead lap, and Chris Camburn somehow one of them. Nothing against Camburn, just he junked his race car and been a bit of a chicane here tonight. But hey, nonetheless, he's working it here, sitting in the 11th spot. Let's hop on board with him here. Could be a much worse night for him, so not too shabby to get a 11th place run with still 21 laps remaining. Jacob Smith with the transmission here for us, folks. Listen in.
I hate this car so much.
Yeah, Jacob Malone not very happy with the race car here right now. Looked pretty good early on, but I mean, he still got speed, obviously, just not really race running speed. And it looks like the 4's going to dump him. Look out. Caution is out. I think the 4 just junked him. Take a look here. Here it is, going in the corner. Oh, yeah, there you have it. So from about 3 car lengths back, the 4 of Jacob Smith just flat out dumps the 54, says, get out of the way, loser. I'm going to the front. So caution number 12 is out, folks. We're going to rack them back up here, gather our thoughts, and then we're going to finish out this race. Less than 20 laps remain. Things are about to get dicey here with the Icon Cup Series, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And we're back here in New Hampshire. John McNeil making an interesting call here. He is not pitting, and the rest of the field did. So McNeil out there on older tires takes over the race lead. He's got some front end damage as well. That car looks like it's been through war and through hell. So we're going to find out how this works out as a 48. John McNeil going to set the field. You got Brian Smith beside him. Pace truck in. Field is set. Green flag in the air. Down the front stretch, looks like McNeil going to hold on to the race lead as he goes into turn number 1. And here comes Roel on the inside, Smith on the outside. Roel loops it around. Caution is out. John McNeil says, "You're not passing me, buddy boy. You are junk." Let's take a look here at what happened. Roel goes in there, and, well, I mean, McNeil didn't do anything wrong there. I'm kind of joking around, but looks like Roel just shifted in there a little hard, and Cody Eldred involved in a wreck as well. So we had a couple different wrecks here, folks. 32 of Eldred. Here it is. There you have it, folks. So that's what brings it out. So nonetheless, we're going to rack them back up once again. Got some radio transmission. Let's take a look. Really nothing good, folks. So we're not going to worry about that transmission. But, hey, we may as well do something here on break. I'm running out of commercials to play. I hate playing so many commercials, but, I mean, I don't know what to talk about here under the 13th caution of the night. I feel like we've been through everything. So take a look at this beautiful message from our good buddy, Larry McReynolds. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
All right, we're back here. Thank our good friend Larry McReynolds for that message. John McNeil, your race leader on the older tires. And we saw in turn number 1 how much slower McNeil was going in, as basically the seats kind of split behind him to pass him. But fortunately for the 39 machine of Roel, he got turned. But good news is he's really got not much damage, so should be good to go. But I'm sure he's not happy about losing the track position with just about 12 laps remaining. All right, we're going to end the poll there, folks. Looks like most of our fans believe Brian Smith is going to win this race. Jacob Malone with 20% of the vote. Smith with 80. So he is our favorite here to win. As the 48, John McNeil trying to make these old tires work. If you're John McNeil, you want to see a couple more cautions. You do not want to stay green with this tire disadvantage he has. Bunched up, ready to roll here. Icon Cup Series, 13th caution of the night here at the Magic Mile at New Hampshire. As the pace car is in, fields ready to roll into that radio replay restart zone. Green flag in the air. Heading into turn 1, it's McNeil on the top with Smith down low. Brian Smith trying to take over the top spot, and he's going to do so. The 08 goes down low to try to make a pass on McNeil, and Michael Taylor should be able to get around him. You see those old tires going to work here for the 48 machine, just trying to limp to the finish. Side by side for the second spot, Michael Taylor going to take over the position, and it looks like Jacob Malone going to go right in behind him. Oh, hard to the wall goes the 8. 54 makes the pass. Oh, look out, the 08 turns it. Caution is out hard into the fence. The 08 is junk. Michael Taylor loops it around. Let's see this replay. Does the 08 get some help here? Yeah, I mean, the 48, I mean, I'm going to be honest, McNeil McNeil has no business battling like he's doing with those old junk tires. He's been in the way since the initial restart. He stayed out. Let's show this one more time. I mean, if you're McNeil here, the 08's got, just let him go. Let him get up top there. I mean, you're clearly slower than the field. The 08 turns up the track to retaliate, not going to lie. And there you go. So hot heads do not prevail here for the 08. Michael Taylor gets right hooked into the fence for the 48 machine, just, again, being in the way. John McNeil with his junk tires. I'm not saying he needs to pull over, but you see a guy, he's got the position on you. Let him just slide up in front of you, dude. You're not going to hold him off. Unfortunately, you ended up junking him, but you're still good. Usually that's how it works out. You know, people bringing out or causing the problems don't get, you know, involved in the wreck. So, folks, I'm rambling, but nonetheless, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back here in New Hampshire, folks. We're racked up, ready to roll. It's Brian Smith, your race leader. Jacob Malone on the outside. Pace truck going to head in here. This is our 14th caution of the night. See if we can get this thing rolling here. Pace truck's in. It's Smith on the inside. Malone on the outside. Green flag back in the air. And take a look at our poll here, folks. How many more cautions you think it's going to be? 0, 1, 2, or more? Again, we only have 7 laps remaining, but we're going to find out how this goes. It's Brian Smith out front trying to hold off Jacob Malone. It's like a black flag in the air there for Michael Taylor. I think he got the black flag for the wreck there. I think race control deemed him liable there for swerving back up, which did technically bring out the caution, so... Here comes Malone, though, looking down low here, side by side for the race lead. Off the corner, it's going to be Brian Smith. Holds on to the lead. Going to be 5 to go this time around in New Hampshire. And, folks, be sure to vote here on the poll. How many more cautions you think there's going to be? Only 6 laps remaining. Are we going to get to 0? We're going to find out here. 5 laps to go. It's Smith out front, Malone second, Ball, Rowell, and Jacob Smith rounding out your top 5. But Jacob Malone right there with them. And, folks, don't look now. Jake Rowell just turned the fastest lap of the race. He's making a move, taking over third. Caution is out there. It is Ryan Patty is junk here. Let's see if he had some help. Into the corner here. See 24 just comes down, right hooks him into the fence. Oh, my goodness. Ryan Patty. That one had to hurt, folks. So let's rack him up here. 24 just dumps him. That's Brock Hersey. And we're going to try it again. It's going to be a green-white checkered, folks. 15th caution of the night. If you bet 0 on this poll going on right now, you lost. Real quick, Todd Gilliland, go ahead.
Todd Gilliland here. You're tuned into the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord channel so you never miss a moment of the action. Did America's crew chief already tell you that?
All right, we are back here at New Hampshire. Is this race ever going to end, folks? I don't know. I do not know. It may not. It may not ever end. I just can't answer that for you, folks. We're going to see if we can get this one in the books. Brian Smith has the race lead. It's going to be tough for Malone to get around him out front here, but we're going to see how it all plays out. We do know there are only 3 green-white checkered attempts. This is going to be our first one officially, so could get a couple more cautions still. Connor Gerard says restart number 15, green, white, checkered time. I agree, Connor. This time around, going to give them the 1 to green signal here at New Hampshire. See if we can end this one. Magic mile. Not been very magical here tonight. All right, folks, we're going to rack them up here. They are racked up, ready to roll. It's going to be Brian Smith on the inside, Jacob Malone on the outside. See, is this one going to get in the books here or not? We're going to find out as we're on board with Brian Smith, your race leader. You're going to set the pace in front of a sold-out crowd here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Into the radio replay restart zone. Green flag back in the air. First green, white, checkered of the night. Is it going to be the only one we need as we hop on board? Brian Smith out front as we have a side-by-side battle for second, and we got him sideways in the back. Still green for now as they go through turns 3 and 4. Can we get to the white flag? Man, the 48 just dooring the hell out of somebody back there. White flag waving, last lap around. Could have maybe had a caution there, but we did not as we are green. Jacob Smith taking over the 3rd spot there from Rowell. Crossover move. Jacob Smith gives up the spot for now as he gets into the wall down the backstretch for the final time. Through turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Checkered flag in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, Icon Cup Series. This one's in the books. Brian Smith, your winner. So Smith with a little bit of dramatics at the end goes down to the bottom. Jacob Malone brings home 2nd, and Jake Rowell rounds out your top 3. So we're going to take a quick break, folks. Gather some drivers. We got some interviews coming up. We'll be right back. All right, we are back here watching Brian Smith burn it down here, celebrating his big win. But let's pull up our results page here, folks, as we're going to talk to our podium finishers here in just a moment. Never mind. It doesn't work because SDK sucks. So hang on, folks. We're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Going to start it out here with Jake Rowell, our third place finisher. There we go. Take a look at this shot here. Jake Rowell in the 39, your third place finisher. Let's get him in here. Jake, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Got you loud and clear, man.
Well, that was a long one there. Had 15 or 16 cautions, but you ended up bringing it home in the third position. How did it feel?
Yeah, it felt good. I hate, I don't know, whatever it was, 15, 20 laps to go, self-spinning myself basically on one of those restarts, and thought I took myself out of contention and was able to get back up to third on that final restart. So it was nice to be able to finish top three easily. It was one of the best three cars. It just felt like at whatever point in the run, Brian, Jacob Malone, or myself were by far the best. So but yeah, to your point, a very long race. It sucked. It kind of got yellow ridden at the end, but here we are.
Yeah, we had some decent long runs there for a bit, but the ending or last half was pretty hectic for sure. But hey, you had a good battle there the last lap there with I believe Jacob Smith and able to get around him.
Yeah, it was fun. Obviously, with him, he's been MIA the last couple of weeks. Him and his wife just had their first daughter. She was born a few weeks ago, so it was fun to have him obviously back with us this weekend and running tonight. And like you said, he definitely bounced it off the wall coming to the white flag, and then he kind of overshot it into one, which gave me a run to kind of cross him back over. And just knowing Jacob and I knew on the white flag into three, it was just going to be who gets on the brakes the latest and got that position. So it was a good time with him.
Absolutely. Well, hey, congratulations on your podium finish here tonight, Jake. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs for our viewers at home?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to thank everyone, obviously, on RSR. Brian, congratulations to him on another win. He was obviously bad fast tonight. Jacob, like I just said, came back after being out for the last few weeks. Mike Taylor was running really well until he had his troubles. So we all showed up at one point. I think we were 4 of the top 5. So obviously Tizio Designs with a hell of a paint scheme here. Obviously, if you live in Florida or interested in coming out to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 next Saturday night on August 29th at 7:30 p.m., hit me up. Happy to help you guys out. And obviously, hell of a broadcast as always, Blake. And last one, it feels nice to have the pace again and not get taken out by someone that doesn't realize they're 4 wide. So nice to see that person was not up front and causing issues, it seems. So yeah, nice clean race for me here, and I'll take P3 and move on to Daytona next weekend.
All right. Well, hey, good run out there tonight. Tonight's third place finisher here in New Hampshire, Jake Rowell. Always good hearing from Jake, but let's move things along here. Talk to our second place finisher here tonight. It's going to be Jacob Malone. Jacob, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good run from you. You led a lot of laps early on. Just seemed like you lost a little bit of speed there at the end or something, but it definitely had a good shot there.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I had a little bit of damage from just other incidents and just trying to get around things and burning up my right front and left and right rear and just all the above pretty much. It was a mess on restarts. Really wish just stayed the same after stage 1 with me and Brian battling it out. That was the most fun I've probably had all race. I'm glad he won. If it wasn't me, I wanted it to be him at least because we were both the fastest cars and we gave each other room. I can't say that about the lap cars or some of the other cars racing me, but it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, now, Jacob, you're running that apron line most tonight, and it seemed to be working better for you than anybody else. How'd that feel?
I honestly didn't know how to drive this car at this track. I just drove it like the truck, and it's a lot of differing lines and stuff, and apparently it worked, so I'll take it, but it wasn't nice to me tire-wise, especially with the rears. I don't know if you saw a few of the saves I had and a few of the, almost going around. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up what happened.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Jacob, a great run for you here tonight. You put it in the second position, but before you head out, you got any shout-outs for our viewers at home?
Yeah, I want to shout out my family, of course. They're always there for me. They're amazing. Want to shout out these league, of course, for, you guys streaming this and putting up with our crap every night. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations tonight. Second place finisher here in New Hampshire, Jacob Malone. Good to hear from Jacob as we move things along. Tonight's star of the show, though, Brian Smith. We got him available here. Let's get him in here. Brian Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
What's up, Blake?
Hey, not much. Dominating performance there at the end from you. You take over the race lead there after that last pit stop, and you never look back. Did the car feel as good as it looked?
It did. I had so much fun out there tonight, mainly battling with Malone. He was super fast. Jake was super fast. The whole RSR team was really fast. Now, Mike, me, Jacob, and Jake were all 1, 2, 3, 4 at one point, so that was super cool. But yeah, what a racy track tonight. It was just kind of, wherever you wanted to run, you could kind of try to make it happen. And the low line was working for me. It was a lot of fun to, cut that exit of turn 2 and run right down by the wall. And yeah, I mean, it just seemed like the lower on the track I was going, the better was turning. So I had the brake bias pegged to the back and tried to get the right front on it. And yeah, got the job done.
And now early on, it looked like, Malone was just a better car, honestly. But it seemed like, you figured something out the midpoint and gained some speed, or did the track come to you, or what was the difference?
Well, that first stage, we went back and forth. He got by me, I got by him, and he ended up winning the stage. But I was burning the right front, so I backed up my entry a little bit and kept that brake bias back, and that seemed to do the trick. So, we just played the pit strategy right at the end. I was on 2 tires on that final stop, so I don't know what Malone was on, but I know my other teammate Jake was on 2 tires as well. So just had to make sure nothing crazy was going to happen with pit strategy. I know the 48 stayed out. That got a little sketchy because if I didn't nail that restart, I'd be stuck behind him or have someone throw it 3 wide on me. So had to be aggressive and nailed the restart, got by him, and yeah, just kind of set sail and made sure I hit my marks.
Yeah, I think I heard somewhere the 48 was out of tire sets was why he stayed out there, but I was kind of questioning the call as well, but it makes sense now. But nonetheless, it works out for you. You bring home the win here and park it in victory lane. But Brian, before you head out, got any shout outs for our viewers at home?
Yeah, shout out to you for doing the broadcast. I hope everyone watching enjoyed the show. Everyone on track tonight did an awesome job. New Hampshire's a place that's really easy to, overdrive a corner. And this is back-to-back weeks where I thought we'd have, a ton of yellows going to Richmond and New Hampshire just with breaking points and all that. And everyone did an awesome job tonight. It was cool to get a green flag stop in. So thanks, everyone, for showing up and racing. Jason Metalworks, TZO Designs, and yeah, just my whole team tonight. Jake was probably the class of the field. I think it just kind of strategy got away from him a little bit, and I don't know how I got in front of him or what happened there, but he was super fast. This is one of his favorite tracks, so it was cool to at least see him get a podium after that restart there at the end. But yeah, all in all, great night, tons of fun, and looking forward to next week. And looking forward to the HMS TV Cup Series kicking off next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, this coming Friday, we're going to be at Daytona, and then we're going to be back here at Daytona, I believe, on Sunday. So you got a lot of Daytona coming up this next weekend, Brian.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be Daytona overload. But, yeah, we'll have fun with it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for sure. But, hey, congratulations. Tonight's a winner here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Brian Smith.
Thanks, Blake.
Thank you. So Brian Smith gets the job done once again. He's no stranger to winning. Look at all those win stickers on the side of the car. Nobody's won more in the Icon Cup Series than this man. Gets the job done and definitely deserved this win. He had some good battles there with Malone and a couple others, but, he seemed like the dominant car most of the evening, especially that second half of this race. So gets it done here. And, folks, that's going to wrap things up at New Hampshire. So we'll see. I guess we'll be back on Tuesday night with the Stars and Stripes Racing League. So be sure to tune in, click the like button if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time right here.